so much misinformation floating around online today from different med spa marketing experts and agencies that's keeping you broke. So in this video, I'm gonna bust a few of those myths and make sure more high-paying clients are booking with you and not the competition. So let's get into it. Propaganda I am not falling for as a marketing strategist for med spas and aesthetic clinics. Let's go. So the inspiration for today's video, of course you guys know, is from the infamous trend that is floating all over social media right now. No matter which platform you are on, somebody is talking about propaganda they're either falling for or they're not falling for. So as your med spa marketing strategist, we're going to talk about the propaganda that I am just not falling for. I'm not going for. But then at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you guys some med spa marketing tips and strategies and everything else that I am falling for 100%. So if you have any questions, like always, ask them down in the comments below. This video is going to be just a little bit different than what you're used to. However, you are still gonna get value. Action takers are money makers, and remember, the gold is in the implementation. Take what I tell you and what we talk about in this video and apply it. You know, think about it. I'm gonna deliver it in a little fun, cutesy way. However, it's still valuable information that you can take and implement. Act now and see a result like ASAP. And if you're not already, make sure you go follow me on Instagram and TikTok for even more med spa marketing gold. You won't be disappointed. And of course, I didn't come on here with a fresh face for nothing. We're going to be doing skincare, but like always, if you've been here before, or maybe you haven't, if you haven't, let me go ahead and introduce myself. I am Cheri, owner of Cheri Cobb Creative, a concierge marketing company, and we work with different med spas and aesthetic clinics to help them attract more high-paying clients using creative marketing strategies. So now, if you have been here before, you know that I am not going to let you guys know what skincare product I'm using throughout. I will link everything down in the description box below so that you can go and your skin could glow. That rhymed. Okay, I love that. This is really going to be fun. I was excited to film this video because, again, it's going to be delivered in a fun way. You know, the whole propaganda we're not falling for, all that type of stuff. But it's still things that you guys need to know and hear. So I was excited to do this, and I actually saw somebody was on Threads and they were like, hey, I'm about to record a podcast. It was a nurse. I can't remember what nurse, but she was a nurse, and she was like, I'm about to record a podcast. Can somebody give me an idea of what I should talk about? And I saw in her comments, someone said, you should do a video on propaganda that you're not falling for, or that you are falling for as a nurse. Now, obviously, I'm not a nurse, but it just got my, my brain going. And I'm like, you know what? That would be a perfect video idea. Propaganda that I am not falling for as your med spa marketing partner. First thing is no follow-up system. If marketing is done right, we're going to continue to generate leads. That's what we do. Very creative ways. They're going to come through all sorts of ways. Like I said, we help implement creative marketing strategies, right? So these are done in various different ways. If there is no follow-up system, if there is no tracking system, then this is marketing money going down the drain. And let me just paint the picture for you. If we generate 100 leads in a week and you're able to book 20 of them, okay, we need to have a follow-up system where we're still continuing to keep up with the other 80. We want to make sure we're still reaching out to them, okay? 3 times the charm. That's what they used to teach us. Reach out to them 3 times. Now you even got text messages and, an email and all sorts of things. So you can reach out to them multiple times. And then take note of what it is that they're saying. So this, it does go in detail, but great detail will lead to a greater reward for your business. There has to be a follow-up system. If not, you're just wasting marketing dollars. The next thing I'm not falling for is paid ads. There's nothing wrong with running paid ads, but a big mistake we see is so many med spa owners they're running paid ads and the foundation is not even solid, meaning they're running paid ads and they don't even have organic content performing. If you don't already have patients and clients constantly in your inbox, or you see them, you know, continuing to book from your social media posts and things like that, you shouldn't be running ads. And this is something that the ad agencies, they're not going to tell you, because they just want you to leave the money on the nightstand. Think about it like this: your organic content, which is just the content that you just post every day online, that is your foundation. And then the paid ads, they are supposed to complement and elevate what you're currently doing, because you have data that you can use to create better targeting for your ad. But if you don't already have that, you're just kind of throwing, you know, spaghetti at the wall, trying to figure out what works, as opposed to using the data that you already have that's showing what's working, and now we amplify that. So at Cheri Cobb Creative, we are not a big fan of paid ads. You know, we will do them, but you have to be in a position to where you're ready for us to run ads. Some of you might not like this one, but RepeatMD. We are not a fan of RepeatMD over here. I have just honestly heard so many horror stories about, well, not even just heard, I've experienced, because I had 2 accounts who work with RepeatMD. It was just a disaster. They tried to say something about they had a whole new team before July, and now they got another new team, and yada yada yada. Nope, I would stay away from it. There are other ways you can create membership programs and beauty banks and all sorts of things. There are other ways around it. RepeatMD, in my opinion, is just for, you know, someone that doesn't have a marketing partner like me in their lives to let them know that there are other ways to create memberships and beauty banks that actually serve your clients and do not disappoint your clients. I'm not a fan of RepeatMD, so let's just throw them in the trash. Of course, y'all know I am not a fan of stock photography or stock videography at all. If you have to use a little bit of it here and there, that's fine. However, building a brand, building a business, particularly in medical and dental aesthetics, people want to see the real, raw, holy feel. They really want to know what's going on in your office. They want to know what's going on in your practice. They want to see actual patient testimonials. They want to hear other stories. They want to hear the transformation. They just want to be involved. By nature, people are nosy. And you wanna focus more on building connections, because once you build those connections, they lead to conversions. And you can't really build connections through stock photography or through stock, you know, photos. Not the type of connections that you need to actually push someone over to a sale, because that is what marketing truly is all about. You should be focused on how you make someone feel. Your clients want to feel, they want to be seen, they want to be heard. And with stock photography and stock video, there are limited capabilities there. You're not actually able to, you know, provoke some sort of emotion that leads to a buying decision. So I say no stock photography, no, like none of that. There's too much going on within your office and your practice that you can highlight and showcase that will get people to say yes, that will get them invested into you, in your business, in your team, in your office, in your empire. But it starts by showcasing those moments, the good, the bad, and the ugly, okay? It doesn't have to be all pretty and polished, but you still want to be able to showcase those moments, because that is how you create relatability. So no more stock photos, okay? I'm tired of seeing Jane from Canva floating around on everybody's Instagram. Let's say, for example, if you post 7 days a week, you can maybe use your little cute templates, maybe once or twice or something like that. But to actually try to build your entire online presence or social media presence around templates, no, okay? No. We're not doing that. Something else that I am just not a fan of: excessive discounting. You don't need to slash your prices in half to get more people in the door. Instead, you need to focus on how can you show up and showcase more value. How can you better articulate your skill and show value online? Because you always want to lead with value. If you lead with value, you do not attract the rats of the world. I talked about this in a post. Actually, I'm going to share that video. I'm gonna pop it up here so y'all can watch it. Just listen. When you lead with cheese, you attract rats. Should we offer monthly specials at our med spa? I get this question all the time, and the answer is no. Mainly I get this question from new med spa owners. Maybe they've only been up and going for about a year and a half, and they say, well, Cheri, should we offer monthly specials? And I'm gonna always tell you no, you should not offer monthly specials, because when you lead with cheese, you attract rats. When you lead with sales, discounts, and promotions, you attract Bargain Betty, Discount Danielle. And I understand that you want to fill your schedule and you want to get clients in the door, but discounting your services is not the way to do it. Take it from someone who has a deep understanding of pricing psychology. How you perceive your business is how people will perceive your business. And it will heavily determine if they want to shop, if they want to invest. So, and in the very beginning, no, you should not offer monthly specials. You should attract clients, work on establishing your boundaries within the community, and you lead with value, because people cannot tell you no if you're leading with value, and you make sure they know what that transformation is. You be 100% confident about the results that you deliver, and you will attract the right types of clients, the ones who will come in and they don't mind spending full price. Now, once you get you build a clientele and you're able to determine like your average cost per client, your most profitable treatment, your low-hanging fruit offers, and you got somewhat of an idea systematically of what your numbers look like, then you can offer promotions, membership, beauty banks, and stuff like that to your existing clientele. But there's a way that you go about it. But I am all about people will finish how they start. And if you create a business and a brand where you're constantly pushing promotions, constantly pushing sales and discounts, you're going to attract the rats of the world. And I mean this with all due respect, or maybe I don't, but I'm just telling you the truth, that you don't want to build your business like that. Later on, once we see the numbers, we crunch the numbers, we can talk about that. But in the very beginning, honey, the price is the price. You just hired a new esthetician. You just hired a new nurse injector. I know you want to fill her schedule. Instead of saying, hey, Cheri, let's offer 50% off our facials, or hey, Cheri, let's do whatever to cut the offer in half. Do not do that. Instead, provide some sort of add-on or something that makes the client feels like, oh my God, if I go ahead and book this facial right now, I'm gonna get this, and this. That way you're not cutting into your profit margins, okay? What you wanna do is you wanna always provide some sort of add-on that's showing value. You want to, even if you do an introductory post on this esthetician, introductory post, introductory email, have something on the website, all the things, and you talk about her skill. What is she known for? What does she specialize in? What is she actually good at? Talk about, where did she grow up? What school did she go to? Those are the type of things that people buy into. So when you lead with that, you start with that, you set the tone immediately. And you're also not building your schedules with a bunch of Discount Danielles and Bargain Bettys who are just there for the discount. No more excessive discounts. If your schedule is empty, instead of offering discounts for this and discounts for that, run a recall report. Call someone and just, light them up, compliment them. We see that you're due for an appointment. It's been so long since you've been in. How's the kids? How is the new house? You know, we have an appointment available next week for you. Give her 2 options and ask her now which one would work better for you. Like you don't even give her an option to say no, you know, and that's something that we teach our clients during sales training. The goal is to get the patient on the schedule. You want them to come in for a consultation. So therefore you need to offer them times. That's what they need. They need times. And now you're putting them in problem solving mode. And now they know that their brain is just going to think, okay, well, what time am I available this day? What time am I available that day? And then they're going to give you an available time. Boom, you get them on the schedule for consultation. You can honestly go on and on and on about excessive discounting all day. Bottom line, just don't do it. Focus on delivering value, showcasing more value, why you are the expert, why your skills are this good, you know, why your technique looks like this. Those are the type of things that you should focus on. And high-paying clients will perceive your business accordingly. Next is undercharging. Why are we undercharging? Undercharging is a mindset. It's a mindset block. For some reason in your mind, you feel as though you're not worth this amount, or your skills are not as good, or whatever. Bottom line, it's a mindset block, and you just have to get over it. You have to get over it, and you have to know that yes, and this is a hard truth to come to realization, but you have to be okay with losing some clients. Oh my God, did I tell you? No, I haven't told y'all over here on YouTube yet because I haven't made a video since it happened. Wait, where am I at? Because I don't want to lose my, okay, we're on undercharging. Okay, I had a client. I told this story on TikTok. Not my client. She's actually a client of one of our med spas, and she follows me on Facebook and all the things. And I open up these doors because I do get along with my clients. When I go out to different content shoots, y'all have seen me on different content shoots. The clients usually want to know more about me, want to know, you know, what do I do to my skin? They ask me about my nails, my hair, everything. And it starts a conversation. They end up following me. So I get it. I probably, you know, open this door. But the client messaged me on my personal Facebook page, and please tell me how y'all feel about this in the comments, because I thought it was a little out of pocket, but please let me know what you feel like. And she says, hi, you know, I'm very upset this morning to find out that so-and-so raised their prices. And she's like, you know, you guys send all sorts of promo messages and deal for this and deal for that, but you failed to tell me that you were raising the prices, and I am just extremely upset. Okay, that was the short, simplified version, y'all. It was a book text. It was very long. I didn't read it all, but I read what I needed to read. Now, at first I was like, should I even respond to this, or should I just leave her on red? But I really didn't want to ruin the relationship. Again, I do feel like it has an effect on everything. You know, when the clients, you know, they like me, they comment on my stuff, they follow all that. Like, I love it. However, I feel like this is probably one of the first times that somebody has kind of overstepped that boundary. But again, I didn't want to like ruin the relationship. So I did write her back, and I, you know, reminded her that, just in case you live under a rock, you know, we are in times right now where most businesses are raising their prices. All of our accounts, they're raising their prices because we have this in mindset training. You know, yes, raise your prices. You can be slightly higher because perception is reality, and your prices attract the type of clientele you want to bring into your business and fill your schedule. Basically, I just kindly told her that, you know, most businesses in the USA right now are raising their rates. You know, she's even a business owner, which was a little surprising that she even sent me a message like that. But I don't know, I just thought it was weird. I don't know. What do y'all think? Did y'all think that was a little out of pocket for her to message me on my personal account about one of our accounts? It's not that I'm their employee. I can see if I was their employee maybe, but no. But anyways, I don't know. I thought that was weird. However, back to the topic at hand. Undercharging. You're probably not charging enough. That is my best business advice to you, is you're probably not charging enough. So remember, action takers are money makers. We are definitely throwing this one in the trash. Actually, they just need to go to jail. Stop partnering with companies like this. Go high level. I cannot tell you how many med spas and aesthetic dentists we have worked with that use companies like Go High Level. And I'm gonna break it down for you. Go High Level, I mean, listen at the name. The name itself sounds like they're more interested in the numbers. They're more interested in the quantity and not the quality. That's just what that name screams in my mind. I've worked with so many clients that worked with this company, and the thing about them is they're a lead generating company, and that's really all they're focused on. They're focused on the numbers, the quota, getting the people in the door. They're not focused on building your brand. They're not focused on brand perception. They don't care anything about pricing, psychology, and buyer behavior, none of that stuff. Their goal is to promise you X amount of leads, and that's what they're going to deliver on. Now, here's the problem with that. The problem is most of the time, companies like Go High Level and any other copycats that are out there, they're telling you to discount your services, which we just talked about. It's a no-no. They're telling you to discount your services and blast it everywhere to get the masses in the door. Back to Discount Danielle. Now we got her in the door because she saw some offer out there that was telling her that she can get $25 off something. Now, bottom line, half the people don't read. These types of people, they don't read. They skim. So what happens is Debbie, did I call her Debbie? Discount Danielle. Danielle, she comes into the office and she's like, oh, I just saw that I can get $250 off a facial. No, Danielle, that is not what that said. It said $25 off. But Danielle had it in her head that she's going to get $250 off. So now she's at your front desk and y'all are arguing in front of a patient who is ready to pay full price in the lobby. And then she leaves and she's unsatisfied and she goes and blasts you on Google. Trust me, I'm telling y'all this from experience. This is not a made-up story. And these are the types of things that happen when you partner with these lead generation companies who are more focused on the actual numbers and just getting people in like on your schedule versus the actual quality of these clients. And that is something that we focus on. When it comes to attracting high paying clients, all the details matter, particularly when it comes to pricing. Then usually another indicator that these companies are not really working in your favor and they don't really care about your brand long term is when the price point is very low, because they're just trying to get another med spa in the door. And then they also work with the auto mechanic, they work with the realtor, they work with the personal trainer. They work with so many different businesses because their business model is just to get people in the door. And that's what they do to you. They get people in your door. They're not, concerned about the quality of the actual client. In my experience, I know for a fact, and I can stand on this 100%, when you do not partner with someone who is experienced in lead generation for aesthetic clinics, medical or dental, it's missed opportunities. And I will stand on that forever. Y'all are gonna hate me for this one, or maybe not. I don't know. Tell me how you feel in the comments. Morpheus 8. Morpheus 8 is microneedling with radio frequency. And obviously I'm not a treatment provider, so I'm not gonna sit on here and throw out a bunch of medical terminology and yada yada yada. But I will say this, it's a very painful treatment. Most of the times, like most clients that we work with, and they've either had Morpheus 8 or they've traded it in or whatever, they always, it's hard to get patients to commit to multiple treatments. And then if they do and they go ahead and prepay for multiple treatments, now you're having to refund them because they're gonna get it done the first time and it hurts like hell. To me, it's just not a great experience to take your patients through. There are better options for microneedling with radio frequency out on the market that, gives a better result. You can sell more packages with this particular device. So I'm going to always push for Virtue RF or Vivace. One of those two. No pain, no downtime. You can actually get patients to purchase in pre-purchase packages. They're going to actually complete it, and then they're going to get the results that they love. So in my opinion, like, don't take your patients through that. I'm not a fan of Morpheus 8 at all. It is just too painful. Next up, neglecting SEO. What is SEO? SEO is basically search engine optimization. It is the way that high intent patients find you. High intent meaning that their intent is to find someone who offers Botox in the area. Their intent is to find someone that can do a non-surgical facelift. Their intent is to find a provider that offers medical grade skincare products in the area. It basically means they're just searching the internet with the intent to do something, versus people who are just randomly scrolling on social media that's just there to be entertained or inspired. When you focus on SEO, you make sure you're visible online to high intent patients that are searching for the services that you offer. And so many med spa owners, I see them totally neglect this. They are so focused on social media, going viral, the vanity metrics, the likes, another photo shoot. Please do not book another photo shoot. Get your systems in order first. Focus on being visible to the most popular search engines out there. Google, okay? Google, YouTube. Focus being visible on places like that because they are more rewarding. Am I saying never post on social media? No. And we'll talk about this more when I flip it and talk about things that I am, like propaganda I am falling for. But the main thing that I see happening right now is a lot of you guys are just neglecting your search engine optimization, and you're shifting and spending more time on social media. And it really should be flipped around. All right, so as promised, now we're gonna talk about propaganda that I am 100% obsessed with as your med spa marketing partner. Up first, creating connections versus sell. And if you don't know how to do that, make sure you watch this video because I teach you exactly how to build trust with your online community that helps you attract more high-paying clients. It is a very simple system, and I'm pretty sure it's just a few things that you're missing out on that will help you tweak your messaging so you can attract more high-paying clients that can afford your treatments and afford your bundles, packages, memberships, and all the things. Tracking your numbers and being involved with your growth. One of the things that we take pride in, like hands down pride in 100% at Cheri Cobb Creative, is that we're not a set it and forget it type of marketing company. I want you to be very much so involved with your numbers, with what we're tracking, with your growth. Not so that you can learn what it is that we're doing, but you can actually know, like, have some sort of understanding of what your actual goal is, what you're looking for, and the systems and the integrations and all the things that we set up to help us get there. I always tell my clients, I want you guys to focus on the results. Not the tactics, not the strategies, not the things that we implement to help you get there. We just want you to focus on the results. Being involved with your growth is so important. I do so many discovery calls with clients and they just have no idea. They're just throwing money at different types of marketing. I literally had a discovery call with an aesthetic dentist a couple of weeks ago, and she was telling me that she was spending thousands of dollars on Google ads, but she had no idea what her ROI was. She had no idea how to track it back to actual patient conversions because the company that she was paying wasn't actually taking the time to do this with her. And this is why we offer concierge support, because we want to be able to provide that same level of support to all of our accounts. So that's why, we're not interested in working with the masses. We don't want to work with so many accounts to where we can't give them that level of support. So it's better for us to work with a select few accounts where we can provide concierge support that they need so they can actually get to the next level in their med spa or in their aesthetic clinic. And every account is different. I always say this, some med spa, like this is a red flag. If you ever want to know what a red flag is working with another marketing company, is if they don't really screen you in the beginning, or they don't ask you specific questions. They just say, okay, here's the contract, here's the invoice, let's settle this. Because every med spa has different problems. A med spa that's bringing in $500K annually, they're gonna have different problems from one that's already at $1 million, or one that's under 250,000. You all have different problems. So that's the reason for discovery calls. I honestly used to think that discovery calls were a waste of my time as a business owner, but then it was that one client, like that one time, that one client did a discovery call with me, and she told me she couldn't really afford me at the time, and then 14 months later she came back ready to work. So now I love doing discovery calls because I'm planting a seed, and that person might not be in a position to afford our services right now, but the right ones will get themselves into position, and I just love that. You want to know what else I'm obsessed with? Med spa owners and aesthetic clinics that are focused on actual like med spa marketing revenue growth. They don't get on the discovery call and tell us we want to go viral, we want more social media followers. They start talking numbers. They actually start talking how we can help them progress. How can we help take them to the next level? How can we help them hire another injector? How can we help put them in a position where they can open up another location? How can we help put them in the position where they can be the best aesthetic dentist or the best med spa in their city? Those are the things that we like to hear. You have to focus on actual conversions. I've made several videos about, KPIs, key performance indicators, and things that you really need to track to get to real growth. What is measured can always be improved. And when you're not tracking your marketing efforts, you're pretty much just throwing spaghetti at the wall, and you're doing a lot of things, but you don't really know what's working. So that's one of the things that we talk about in our discovery sessions with clients. Like, tell me what's your actual goal? Like, do you actually have a goal? And tell me what that looks like for you right now, because we want to make sure that everything that we're doing is your marketing partners is in alignment with the assignment, and the assignment is your end goal, and all of the details matter. Everything that we do to get there, it all matters. Now, this is something that just lights me up inside. Being a med spa owner or an aesthetic clinic owner and having a strong understanding that social media is just a piece of the puzzle. Yes, it requires work. Yes, it is necessary, but it's just a very small piece of the puzzle, especially when it comes to getting bodies in your chairs and filling your schedule, again, with high intent, high paying clients. And I'm not here to down social media. If you've been around for a while, you guys know that social media is what continues to build my business. It is where I got started, but along the way, and tying in my medical and dental background along with my marketing and psychology background, I am learning that you need a whole infrastructure. You need a digital marketing suite. You don't just need social media. Social media is where people discover you. It's how they learn about you. It's where if they learn if they like you and know you and trust you. But then we have to move them down the funnel, because nobody, I'm just gonna be honest, nobody, well, no, I'm not gonna say that. I would be lying, because we have literally seen where we will post about laser hair removal, and then somebody is literally on the website booking for laser hair removal. But that is just that buyer type. That buyer type is ready. Maybe they've been following you for a long time, or maybe they just need laser hair removal, who knows? But that's that buyer type, and your marketing wants to speak to all of the buyer types. So we have another buyer type. It takes them a little longer to get to the buying decision. They see it a couple of times and they're still not convinced. They're still not ready to book. but they still want more of what you have to offer. So now they're going to sign up for your email list, or they're going to go to your website and read your blog posts. Either way, we're moving them down the funnel. We know they're interested in a CO2 laser because we just saw that they spent 10 minutes on the CO2 laser page on the website. Now they've submitted their information because they want more information about the CO2 laser. Now we're going to send them targeted emails that address information about the CO2 laser, benefits, what it does for your skin, no downtime, how many sessions you potentially need, all of that good stuff. Everything that will lead them to a buy-in decision. This buyer type is just a little bit different. They want more information. They want more details. They probably just want more information than they even know what the hell they can do with it. Bottom line, you push them down the funnel, and eventually you see these clients book. You see them schedule appointments. You hear them on the phone because we track phone calls and they call the office. However, you miss out on those clients. You leave money on the table when you're not nurturing clients. You're just posting on social media and you're hoping that someone's going to see the post and they're going to book an appointment. You miss all of the steps in between. So teaming up with med spa owners and aesthetic clinic owners who understand that and who know that. I did a discovery call with a client a while ago, and I remember her saying that she was like, you know what, I'm doing all the posting on social media, but I just know that's not it, and I know that I need a little bit more support. Though that's a green flag. When I hear those words, that's a green flag. When I get on the call with the med spa owner and she's like, oh, well, I just want to go viral, or I want more social media followers, or you're asking me things like, well, how many times should I be posting a week? It's usually a no. Or actually, no, it's not a no. It's, hi, you're not quite ready for our comprehensive marketing package, but we can start with a one-on-one consulting package. And then that way we can make sure we put this client in the mindset to win, and we get them ready for our full service marketing approach. That's our business model here at Cheri Cobb Creative. And the very last thing that we are just absolutely obsessed with is clients who understand that perception is reality. Like how you show up online, what your front desk looks like, how you answer the phone call, all of that is your sales pitch before the client even walks into the door. You have to understand that the details matter, especially when your goal is to attract high-paying clients. And this is the mindset shift that I had in my very own business when it comes to attracting high-paying clients. And that is simply how I show up online and the problems that I talk about. And I'm actually proposing this question to you. Ask yourself, are you speaking to the actual problems that your clients are experiencing? Are you being detailed? Are you being specific? Are you using the words that they can actually relate to? That, my friend, that is how you attract more high-paying clients, because you have identified their language, their behaviors, their spending habits, what motivates them, all of the things. And then you continue to create your marketing messaging, your copy around that. And that's what we help you do. We help you create that marketing message that is speaking to the clients you want to attract. And that's what we do here at Cheri Cobb Creative to help our clients. Our number one goal is to put you in a position to help you attract more high-paying clients. So if you like today's video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Ask me anything that you want in the comments down below. Let me know which one are you going to try. Which one of these are you going to actually stop? Okay, no judging. I'm not judging. I'm just listening. Let me know, okay? Thank you so much for being here. And if you guys want even more med spa marketing tips, particularly on how to attract more high-paying clients, make sure you watch this video while you wait on the next. All right, I'll see y'all in that video. Bye for now.